Hello everyone, welcome back to the seventh session of sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Embryo development. Embryo develops at the micropylar end of the embryo sac where the zygote is situated. The zygote gives rise to the proembryo and subsequently to the globular, heart-shaped and mature embryo. I was already told you that the zygote gives rise to proembryo. Proembryo subsequently forms globular, heart-shaped and mature embryo. Here in this picture you can see the clear pictures of three major steps of embryonic development. They are nothing but globular embryo, heart-shaped embryo and mature embryo. In most zygotes divide only after the formation of certain amount of endosperm. This is an adaptation to provide nutrients to the embryonic development. Here you just note down the point. The function of endosperm is provides nutrition to the embryonic development. Though the seeds differ greatly, the embryogeny is similar in both monocots and dicots. Embryogeny is nothing but early embryonic development. Dicot embryo or dicotyledonous embryo. It has an embryonal axis and two cotyledons. The portion of embryonal axis above the level of cotyledons is the epicotyle, which terminates with the plumule. Plumule gives rise to stem. The cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon is hypocotyle that terminates with the radicle. Radicle gives rise to root system. The root tip is covered with the root cap. Monocot embryo or monocotyledonous embryo. They possess only one cotyledon. In the grass family, the cotyledon is called scutellum. It is situated lateral to the embryonal axis. At its lower end, the embryonal axis has the radicle and root cap enclosed in coelorhiza. Coelorhiza is an undifferentiated sheath. Portion of embryonal axis above the level of attachment of scutellum is the epicotyle. It has a shoot apex and a few leaf primordia enclosed in coloptile or coeloptile. Coeloptile is a hollow and foliar structure. Seed from ovule. Seed is the fertilized ovule formed inside fruits. It is the final product of sexual reproduction. It contains of seed coats, cotyledon and an embryonal axis. The cotyledons are simple, generally thick and swollen due to the storage of food material. Mature seeds are two types. One is non-albuminous seeds, another one is albuminous seeds. First one, non-albuminous seeds have no residual endosperm. It means endosperm is completely absent and completely consumed during embryo development. Best example for non-albuminous seeds are pea, groundnut, beans. Second one, albuminous seeds. It retains a part of endosperm. It means complete endosperm is absent and is not completely used up during embryo development. Example for albuminous seeds: wheat, maize, barley, castor, coconut and sunflower. Occasionally in some seeds, example black pepper and beet, remains of a nucellus are also persistent. It is called as a perisperm. Structure of dicot seed. Refer the first year NCERT book and refer the fifth chapter, that is nothing but morphology of flowering plants. You will get a information. Monocot seed. I think this one also you have studied in first year morphology of flowering plants chapter. I think you just refer the first year NCERT book for the more details. Integuments of ovules harden as though protective seed coats. It has a small pore in micropellar end through which O2 and water enters into the seed during germination. As the seed matures, its water content is reduced and the seed become dry, around 10 to 15% moisture by mass. The general metabolic activity of the embryo slows down. The embryo may enter a state of inactivity, that is nothing but a dormancy. If favorable conditions are available, so adequate moisture, oxygen, and suitable temperature helps in the germination. Advantages of seeds. Note down the points. First one, since pollination and fertilization are independent of water, seed formation is more dependable. Second one, seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal to new habitats and helps the species to colonize in other areas. Third one, they have food resource, so young seedlings are nourished until they are capable of photosynthesis. Fourth one, the hard seed coat protects the young embryo. Fifth one, being products of sexual reproduction, they generate a new genetic combination leading to variation. And last point is dehydration and dormancy of mature seeds are crucial for storage of seeds. It can be used as food throughout the year and also to raise crops in the next season. Viability of seeds after dispersal. In a few species, the seeds lose viability within a few months. Seeds of many species live for several years. Some seeds can remain alive for hundreds of years. The oldest is that of lupine. The scientific name of lupine is Lupinus articus, excavated from Arctic tundra. The seed germinated and flowered after an estimated record of 10,000 years of dormancy. 2000 years old viable seed is of the date palm Phoenix dactylifera, discovered during the archaeological excavation at King Hyodra's palace near the Dead Sea. Last content of today's session is that summary. Today we discussed about embryo development, in that dicot embryo, monocot embryo, and seed development, in that we discussed about monocot seed and dicot seed. In that particularly we discussed about non-albuminous seeds and albuminous seeds. And finally we discussed about advantages of seeds and viability of seeds after dispersal.